I'm Sophia Vicari, and you are watching New Vision Media's show, Transformed, where we talk about how Jesus has transformed the lives of others. Here with us today is a very special guest, Miss Laura Gaffney, and she's going to tell you all about how Jesus has transformed her life. Thank you so much for coming, Miss Gaffney.
Thanks for inviting me, Sophia.
Of course. So, tell us about Laura before Christ.
Okay, well, I think I was just like your typical college student, kind of adventurous and willing to try anything to just, see what was out there. It was the first time I was ever away from home, and I went to a Catholic university. And believe it or not, a lot of people there were very much into partying. And so I just joined right in, and that's pretty much what was going on. I was studying very hard during the week and partying very hard on the weekends. And then unexpectedly, my father lost his job as a school principal. He actually resigned his job and had kind of a crisis, like a midlife crisis, I would say, where he really wanted to find himself. And that led to a prolonged period of unemployment where there was no money coming into our household. And it was a very scary time for us.
Can imagine.
And my mom took on 2 jobs. She was a teacher by day, and then she took on a factory job at night, while my dad was out there finding himself. And then he did eventually establish himself as a self-employed motivational speaker.
Okay.
And he sells his own books, and he's very successful now. But before that was this long period of unemployment where I thought I was going to have to leave college. And I thought that, I wouldn't be able to finish my dream of getting a college degree. And so I was going to church every Sunday at a Catholic Mass. I was singing, I was playing, because I'm a musician. I was participating as in the worship team there. And one evening in church, God totally spoke to my heart. And it was through a written scripture, even though in the Catholic Mass you don't really have a lot of Bible written out for you. Mm-hmm. There was like maybe 2 verses from Matthew 25. And it was the verse that says, "Consider the lilies of the field. I take care of them. If I take care of them, I certainly will take care of you."
Absolutely.
And because we were going through that period of no income, that really spoke to my heart at that moment. And I didn't know it, but it kind of like, it started a thirst for the Bible. Yeah. And I didn't even know what a Bible was because, being Catholic, I just kind of knew of Scripture, but didn't know really where to get my hands on a Bible. So, I don't even remember what happened next, but I know it had to have something to do with my brother, who was very strongly born again just prior to that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so he was supplying the family with Bibles, Christian music, and I'm sure I was on the receiving end of a Bible at that point.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I think I had one too, but I just never cracked it open.
Yeah.
So.
What a transformation.
Yeah, it was pretty remarkable because I started to be kind of a Bible scholar. I couldn't get enough of reading, and I became familiar enough with where the books were to really, read on my own. I just read on my own and prayed on my own because there weren't Bible studies back then. I mean, we're talking about 1983, so on a Catholic campus.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So, with this transformation, this thirst for the Bible, how has that affected your daily life? Certainly, you've gone through ups and downs since then.
Lots.
And lots. So how has God and that transformation really affected you?
Well, like I said, I think for the first time I realized how powerful the Bible could be. And I used that for the first time then, but as time went on, I became more familiar with which verses would bring me the greatest comfort. And so I wrote them down, I would reference them. I got into Bible studies as I later got married and became a Methodist. and became more purposeful and methodical about learning the Bible. Every time I had a challenge in life, I knew better how to cling on to the Word. And of course, as I matured, my spiritual life and my prayer life became more substantial. So I would just directly go to God in prayer whenever something happened. Yeah, and I really believe He's led me to, I don't think it's been one way where, I've just been talking to Him. He's definitely been talking to me, guiding me, showing me things, opening my eyes and ears to the right help at the right time, because I've needed help, as you know.
That's fantastic. So with this transformation, how has it enabled you to, just go out and succeed in life?
I think it's helped me pay attention to the God opportunities. When He opens a door, I've recognized when it's Him and when it's the right thing to do. And I know that graduating from that college, that university that I almost had to drop out of, was the right thing to do, because that degree helped me to maintain a professional life and to also, pick up a career and stop a career and start a career when I had to, for different reasons, like raising kids and also personal illnesses I've had. Yeah.
So with being a mother, do you feel that this transformation has enabled you to succeed with that as well?
Being a mom?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a million questions that you have as a parent, and a lot of opportunities for your children that you have to distinguish whether they're good or not right for your children. And then I had Andrew, who was my first son, who has autism, and he, excuse me, definitely needed to, discern what the best therapies were, what the best schools were, and, I had to ask the Lord to give me, personal strength to work through some of the challenging behaviors that he had, and the confusing times where he wasn't making progress and things weren't working. So parenting for him, I needed extra grace and extra guidance. And then also with my daughter Emily, there have been some challenges with her too, and also some great joys with both kids. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think the Lord's blessed us all, really, especially with music. So
So, you were into music when you were younger, and clearly you've kept succeeding with that field. You sing at your church and everything. So how has your transformation transformed your outlook on music?
Well, I'm in a secular group and also a church group, and I personally believe that God is, the Lord of talent, and He also, when He bestows talent, that you should be a trustee of it, and a good trustee of it, and develop it, and do it to the best of your ability, and practice and prepare. And also, if you don't have, that's not to say that people can't contribute musical talent no matter what level they are. But I feel like I approach my church music the same way I do to my professional music. And that's with lots and lots of preparation and practice. And the more I get into it before I actually perform, the better the performance goes. Because then I can just minister when I'm up there. And I can just, not think about the notes and just get into it, Yeah. So I think that part of getting into it translates also into the professional music, because even though I'm not expected to know what I'm singing for that, I do. And a lot of the best professional music is church related.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even though that, like a lot of times, people in the professional music world will not talk about it, and they won't acknowledge what role that it has in praising the Lord. Like we could even be praising the Lord in, say, German, But we don't talk about that we're
Yeah.
praising the Lord, but I know I am.
You know in your heart.
Yeah, and the other Christians in my group know. And really the best music ever written was in praise to the Lord. So
That's incredible. So, with your music, you have the secular section, you have the Christian section, and with your daily life, you're not in the church building every day of the week. You go on Sundays and you go for practices, and you work throughout the week. Do you feel that your transformation is very much alive every day of the week? Every time you open your eyes?
Well, I think like most people, I go through ups and downs with it. Sometimes I feel more distant from God and sometimes not. And when I feel like my journey is stagnating and I'm not growing spiritually or I'm not as close to the Lord on a certain day, I'll recognize it. And I'll know it's time to, dig into my Bible a little longer that day. Or just, ask God to show me himself, more concretely in all the little situations that come up, or to guide me a little bit closer to him. Right now he has me in a company that's a nonprofit, and it's all about serving people with special needs.
So, you mentioned how sometimes you feel distant and sometimes you feel closer, and that's okay. And do you have any advice for anyone watching that's going through a rough patch like that?
Well, I think it's really helpful to remember how God has met your needs all through your life in previous years and previous times when you needed him. And he met you and gave you exactly what you need. So I would tell whoever's struggling that they need to hold on to the proof that he already established in your life and that he won't let you down in the future, because he never has. And sometimes he lets you walk through rough patches so that you'll grow. And as you know, I've had like life-threatening illnesses, 2 of them, actually 3. And, it's not easy. I would never tell anybody who's struggling with like a life-threatening illness that this is going to go away or God's going to meet your needs and don't worry about it. I would say it's okay to feel the struggle. It's okay to feel sad about it. It's okay to feel like there's no hope, and those are normal feelings. But, just rest and know that he's there and he's going to give you the courage to walk through it, no matter how tough it gets,
Absolutely.
My dad right now has 2 really good friends walking through Parkinson's disease and cancer. And, my prayer for them is that they just won't suffer and that they'll just preserve his peace, because I really do believe that the Lord can alleviate suffering for people.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I saw it in my son's own autism when he was very frustrated and nonverbal. And, God gave him the tools to speak and alleviate that. So, and even with that, there are some kids with autism that don't respond to those therapies and continue to have difficult challenges, and the parents walk through some really tough times. So I feel really blessed right now. My job is ministering to them.
Good.
No matter what level they are. So.
You have an incredible story.
Thanks.
Full of ups and downs, and
Yeah.
I'm sure many of us can relate. So thank you very much for sharing your story with us today.
You're
And
welcome.
to anyone out there who's struggling with a rough patch, just know that God is there and he'll get you through. We don't know his plan. The saying is we make plans and God laughs, but he's there. Don't worry. Thank you very much for watching today, and thank you, Laura Gaffney.
You're welcome.